Hi, I'm Dr. Kelli Palfy. I am a retired police lady turned psychologist. I pursued a career in psychology because I felt like it was going to be the only way I would ever be happy again. You see, I'd been working in the Integrated Child Sexual Exploitation Unit where I'd been trained as a subject matter expert. I had been investigating sex crimes committed against children on an international level, and the work felt pretty meaningful. My time in the RCMP taught me that boys and men are victims of sexual abuse as well, even though they are not commonly talking about it and certainly not reporting it. I made it my mission to find out why boys and men were not reporting their abuse. So I conducted my doctoral research examining exactly that topic. After I completed my PhD, I joined a private practice with a group of other psychologists who had graduated a year ahead of me. We all had our different areas of expertise and different faiths. And I was not the only Christian there, but I may have been the most on fire Christian. In October, the leaders asked us all to fill in a missions, visions, and values statement in regards to where we saw the agency going in the future, and also to answer if we planned to rent from them in the future. And so I responded. I politely declined to do the missions, visions, and values statement. And I told them that, to be honest, I was only planning on renting for another 4 to 6 months into the new year because I was wanting to open up my own faith-based agency in the not too distant future. At about 5 the next morning, I received an email from one of them asking if they could clarify a few things with me. At the end of my workday, which was 9 p.m., I was leaving. Well, I knew I was meeting with him, but actually 3 of them showed up, and it sounds like a bad joke, but it was an atheist, a Catholic, and a Mormon. And they asked me all to join them in the back room, and this was after everybody else had left. I worked late. And so they started to ask me questions, all 3 of them, asking me questions about what types of clients I served, what types of training I'd had, what types of therapy I utilized. And the questions just seemed to get more and more specific, and specifically in regards to my Christian beliefs and my Christian clients and what other Christian beliefs would be, in regards to homosexuality and the LGBTQ population. And they were asking me very specifically how I would treat anybody from this population if they came to me. And I said, I would treat their trauma, because who knows what happens to somebody when you treat their trauma. And so I just kept answering that question for them, and they just kept asking me the same question in different ways, like as if they were trying to catch me up or something. And so I started to, obviously I picked up on this, and I started to get a little bit frustrated. And I, at about the 40-minute mark, I kind of turned the tables on them a little bit. I might have put my police hat back on for a few minutes, and I said, what is this about? You guys have asked me the same question 40 different ways. I'm not going to change my answer. I don't know what you're hoping I'm going to say, but that's my answer. That's the appropriate answer, and that's my answer, And the one lady, she got really mad. And it was like she was just frothing at the mouth, and she said, "You call yourself a Christian on our website, and our website links to your website where you call yourself a Christian psychologist." And she said, "And you quote scripture." And she was so mad. I was like, okay, now we've got to the heart of the matter. So I asked them, have you guys had a complaint about me? And they said, no. And I said, okay, then I've answered your questions. If you've had no complaint about me, this meeting's voluntary, then I'm done. And I politely excused myself, and I actually left. The next day I was in the office. I went into the Catholic gal's office, and I said, hey, what the heck was that about? And she again reiterated that, they wanted to be inclusive, and they were worried about, if they flew the flag, would any of my clients be offended or something like that, or would I be offended? And I said, you guys should have just discussed this with me openly and honestly. I said, if my clients are offended, that's for me and my clients to deal with. And, I just said, I also pointed out to her, I said, you guys even suggesting that I should take the word Christian out of my bio. I don't remember if they actually asked me to take the word out, but they were definitely upset about the word Christian being in my bio on their website. So I told her, you guys should have been honest with me about this. And by the way, if you're inclusive, Christians should be included in inclusivity. And I said, if you're asking me to take it out, and that's actually discrimination based on, my religion. But anyways, a few days later, I was at the office, and I got an email from the girl in the next office. It was about 2 minutes before I was supposed to start seeing my own first client. And she said, we're just writing to inform you that you're not going to be welcome to rent from us in 2021. And this was October. They said I was welcome to stay till January, but that as of January, I needed to find another place to work. I was devastated. What advice would I give another fellow Christian psychologist in my shoes? Get support. Yeah, so I mean, I was the only one out of 21 that was interviewed and asked to leave the practice, and we had not had an issue. There was no reason for them to call me into a meeting. It was simply based on the fact that I said I was a Christian.